My name is Barbara Ohm. I'm an administrator at Intermountain Healthcare for Intermountain TOSH, the Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. I ended up in healthcare kind of by circumstance. I got a master's in business administration, and I wanted to work in human resources after I graduated and got an internship in a hospital. And I found working in a hospital very rewarding just because the mission is so noble and all the people working in healthcare are so committed to their patients and to what they do. So that's why I ended up staying in healthcare. What I enjoy most about my work is working with the people. I have an excellent team. They strive for excellence. They're very smart, very motivated. You give them a task to do, it's done very swiftly, on time, excellently, and it's a joy to see that. Makes my job as a leader actually very easy. The key traits of a successful professional are honesty, integrity, competency, striving for excellence, and having a sense of accountability, getting things done. While describing your own leadership style can be a little hard, maybe it's easier to quote what other people have said. So I've been told I'm a principled leader, I'm a strategic thinker. From people who work for me, I've been told that I'm fair, that I'm very supportive, and I also really take interest in understanding what each of my departments do. And I think a good leader develops responsible followers. You're only as good as your team, and so a lot of it is in the play between leader and the team they develop. That's an interesting question. A woman in healthcare in a leadership position, it's an interesting dichotomy. We have a workforce that's primarily female. 80% of our healthcare workers are female, particularly when you look at nurses and nurses' aides and the clinical positions. Our medical staff is predominantly male, and then leadership is actually predominantly male. So sometimes it's an asset because you connect to your workforce in a way that maybe it's a little more natural. Sometimes you could say that because not a lot of women are in a leadership position, depends on who the leader is that you're working for. Sometimes maybe that's a disadvantage. Sometimes it can be an advantage because you stick out, you get noticed more. My advice to young women entering the workforce is always be confident, don't undersell yourself. I've mentored a lot of young professionals, both women and men, and what I see often as the difference is that young men come into the profession with all this confidence and they approach their first jobs of, if I don't have the experience, I have the talent and I'll learn as I go. And young women often are more modest and go in and saying, I don't have the experience, I know I have to learn. And that sometimes works as a disadvantage. So don't call attention to your lack of experience. Everybody entering the profession has a relative lack of experience. Just know that you'll learn very fast early in your career and have that confidence that you can have with your training and with your talent. You can have the ability to learn very quickly and acquire that skill and experience very, very quickly. What motivates me to exceed or meet my goals, first of all, is just the inherent mission of healthcare. Helping people live the healthiest lives possible is a very motivating thing to do every day. And if I ever get lost or feel a little frustrated, all I have to do is go out into the hospital and go on a patient floor or go into rehab and watch my staff interact with the patients and see how they help everyday people regain health, get better, recover from illness, and help them live the healthiest lives possible. And that in itself is very motivating. So then it becomes a matter of how do you get there every day? What does today's work have to do with that? What do the goals for the year have to do with that mission? And how do you get it done? How do you get it accomplished? Who do you need to organize? What resources do you have to get together to get those goals accomplished? My mother was actually a great role model as a female leader. She was a school teacher. She had leadership roles in school for as long as she was active in her career. And for years, she acted as a liaison between the student government and the administration in her school. And I watched her a couple of times as she negotiated between students and administration on issues like demonstrating at a school fair, which the the principal didn't really appreciate, but the students felt very passionate about. And I really admire how she stood up to the authority of the leadership, advocated on behalf of the students, at the same time coaching the students to be respectful and polite in how they express their opinions and not pushing things too far. So I thought that was a great thing to be able to watch and learn from. Here at Intermountain Healthcare, I was part of the team that opened Intermountain Medical Center. And not just was it opening a new facility, and opening a brand new facility has its challenges because you have a new environment, you have a new building, there's always little things that need to be fixed as you move in, everybody has to adjust to a new environment. But we also took staff from 2 different hospitals and merged them together. So we had 2 different cultures amongst physicians and staff on how to approach patient care and how to work together. And we had to really work to come up with a new culture, that it wasn't this hospital's way or that hospital's way, but we tried to establish new processes, new procedures that really worked for Intermountain Medical Center. And it was really rewarding to see those 2 teams come together and to grow something new. And now Intermountain Medical Center is a thriving, nationally recognized medical center in the nation.